I want to move into this very bizarre treaty that was made with Iran over a year ago now, P5+1. Bill Koenig, help us understand. And again, it goes back to some of the things Terry wrote about. Things are upside down and make no sense today. But if you can help us understand this U.S. really almost global cave to Iran, allowing them the bomb.
I had a really good discussion with a friend in Tel Aviv. He's 27-year Israeli intelligence monitors the Middle East for Israel. And he said that Iran was up against the ropes, to use a boxing term. The people were turning on them. The economy was collapsing. They were in dire straits, and it wasn't getting better. And the P5+1, that's the 5 permanent members of the UN Security Council, Russia, China, France, the UK, and the United States, plus Germany, threw a lifeline to the leadership of Iran and released billions of dollars to them, made a feeble agreement, which also was a sign of weakness from the Europeans because they want that business with Iran. They want that oil and gas business and technology business, and their economies are weak right now, and that was one of the motivating factors. Plus the fact we found out that Obama and Kerry had been in negotiations directly through letter writing and conversations with the Iranian leadership on trying to work something out. And the P5+1 think they're up to the task of negotiating with the Iranians, but the Iranians are master negotiators. They're three-dimensional thinkers. They're chess players, and they will negotiate, Jan, until they are finished with their nuclear weapon. We seem to be a small group of people that realize this.
They've got weapons that can reach Israel, will be soon reaching European states and capitals, will soon be reaching America.
Well, that's correct. The greatest advancement, Jan, in the last 3 years has been the short-range missiles that put every Sunni oil-producing country in the Persian Gulf at risk, which is 30% of the oil that the world uses on a daily basis. And then, as you're discussing, they can hit Israel now, and they are very close to having an ICBM that can hit Western Europe and the United States.
Let me just play a quick soundbite. This happens to be a representative from the TV program. It's English-speaking in Israel, the Land of Israel TV program. It's a little clip. Megyn Kelly, Fox News.
Fox News alert now on some new reporting from Israel over its increasingly tense showdown with Iran. It now appears that some Israeli government officials have already mapped out their plans for a possible armed conflict with Iran. Israel's civil defense minister saying in an interview that he sees a month-long conflict on several fronts with several enemies, including not just Iran, but Hezbollah in Lebanon and Palestinian militants in Gaza. He also warns hundreds of missiles could hit Israeli cities daily in the event of Israel choosing to attack Iran's nuclear facilities, potentially killing, they estimate, about 500 Israelis. So what do the Israeli citizens think of this? My next guest is Israel parliamentary candidate Ari Abramowitz. He's founder of thelandofisrael.com. That's an English-speaking TV show broadcast from Israel. Ari, welcome back to the program. Yesterday we talked about how they were handing out gas masks to Israelis. Now we get actual estimates that, they say some 500 Israelis are likely to die. The experts we've spoken to in the U.S. side believe that's a low number. How are the Israeli citizens reacting to all of this?
Shalom, Megan. Listen, we're the most peace-loving people on the planet. We love peace. Our word for hello and goodbye is peace. We don't want a war, but what's the alternative? The alternative is waiting for Iran to get a nuclear weapon. And how many millions of Jews in Israel or anyone around the world? How many millions will die? We have to step up to the plate and do what we need to do. We have a historical perspective here in Israel as Jews. 2,400 years ago, we faced a nearly identical situation where there was a Persian leader, which is modern-day Iran, who sought to wipe us out. And just like all the enemies throughout history, he's gone. He has disappeared, and we're still here stronger than ever. We know that God is protecting us, and it's that confidence that gives us the ability to act with such a high level of moral clarity, even in such adverse circumstances.
If you just joined me, you are listening to Understanding the Times Radio. I'm Jan Markell. I have on the line Bill Koenig, serves in the White House Press Corps. I have Eric Barger as my co-host. Bill and Eric, please weigh in too. But I asked you when you came on air a few minutes ago, what was the most significant story of 2014? Bill, will the most significant story of 2015 be an Israeli strike on Iran because she has no other choice and she'll be alone?
Very plausible. By the way, I'm a good friend of ours who was on that program with Megyn Kelly, and I was at Voice of Israel a couple of weeks ago with he and his associate co-host Jeremy Gimple, and we discussed some of the threats that Israel's facing right now. And these are both guys that served in the war with Gaza just recently. Jeremy was even wounded. And these guys, like many pragmatic Israelis, understand that what Iran says, you have to take it serious. They also are well aware that there are 100,000 rockets and missiles right now on the Lebanese border into Lebanon that Hezbollah controls. And many people know, too, that Iran has smuggled weapons into Hezbollah for the purpose of being their front in the future war with Israel. And this is a very serious issue. And this conflict could be coming very soon. And they have reached beyond probably the point of no return. The international community only knows so little about what they actually have, Iran has. But yes, 2015 could be the year that Israel decides to take care of business, and they will be capable of handling the Iranian threat.
They will.
According to Jeremiah 49.